Well, just when we thought we were destined for a disappointment after that great Bills-Ravens game, somehow we get another wonderful fourth quarter. The Minnesota Vikings come back to beat the Chicago Bears. J.J. McCarthy out-dueling Caleb Williams down the stretch. Is he the better quarterback? Probably a hot take at this point, but I do want to talk about the two, and I want to talk about why I myself gravitate towards McCarthy more than Caleb Williams, not just because of this performance, but even during the draft process. Before we get into all of that, do me a favor and like the video, subscribe to the channel. I will be here all season talking about football. Subscribe to the channel because I'll be bluffing my way through the entire football season. Just when you thought it was over and it was going to be a beatdown, Minnesota comes storming back to beat the Chicago Bears 27-24 on Monday Night Football. I want to talk about both teams. More importantly, I want to talk about both quarterbacks because that's kind of the story coming out of this game. We start, as we try our best to do, with the winners, the Minnesota Vikings. It was looking really bad for three quarters. To put things on the table, I have been a big J.J. McCarthy fan and a big advocate. I'm sure the videos are still on the channel if you want to go find them, just so you know I'm not lying to you. With that said, after he suffered the injury and lost all that weight, and I really started to be worried, and I just didn't know what to expect this season. I wanted to believe in him because when I watched his cut up from Michigan, particularly, I heard people talk about his third down cut up. And when you watched it at Michigan, he was throwing with anticipation. He was processing. I thought he was very good at Michigan. I thought he was underrated in the draft, but the injury, the weight, I didn't know how that would translate. It looked really bad for three quarters. It looked like it was going to be a long, long season for the Minnesota Vikings. Bury your head, guys. It's going to be a couple-year rebuild. And a switch flipped, and they came storming back. I want to give the most credit to J.J. McCarthy because he really could have spiraled after he threw that pick six. Bad decision, bad throw. And the moment that happened, I was sitting on the couch like a lot of people, and I went, oh, you can't do that. I really just thought that was the backbreaker because up until that point, Minnesota was unable to do anything offensively. They couldn't run the football. And J.J. McCarthy wasn't able to get anything going because they couldn't run. They had no offense. Their drives in this game up until the end, punt, field goal, punt, field goal, pick six, punt. That was the Minnesota Vikings' first three quarters. They had 6 3-and-outs. It was worst case scenario, red alarm fire. And in the fourth quarter, they go touchdown. A switch flipped and JJ turned it on. As JJ McCarthy settled into the football game, he started delivering. He started looking fantastic. He took his team back and won the football game. He deserves a ton of credit because it could have gone bad. He could have spiraled. Things could have got out of control, especially after the pick six. I mean, it's literally pick six and then 2 more 3-and-outs. All hope is lost. I give him a ton of credit. I give the team a ton of credit. And I'm going to give a ton of credit to Kevin O'Connell because we all know that Kevin O'Connell is one of the better coaches in the NFL. We know he's a great offensive mind. We've seen what he's been able to do with all these quarterbacks, what he's gotten out of Kirk Cousins and Sam Darnold, bringing Brian Flores in to run the defense. Now they're a dangerous unit. We've seen Kevin O'Connell in the past get away from the run way too soon. Just give up on it and keep throwing. He loves to throw. And it's been to Minnesota's detriment in that playoff game against the Rams, other games late in the season, in big moments. They get stuffed running the football, and he just stops doing it. I understand you don't want to run because you feel like you're not getting anything out of it, but that's what keeps the defense honest. And also, in his kind of offense, so much of it is built off play action, the quarterbacks he's had. That's when you're at your most successful. Tonight, he held down the fort. He did what I hoped he would do going into this game and what I honestly thought he would. Because even though he's been known to get away from the run, I thought surely with essentially a rookie quarterback, he's going to try to take the pressure off of him. And he stayed committed to the run, and they started breaking them in the fourth quarter. They started pushing the Chicago defense back. The Chicago defense had been great all game, and Minnesota finally started just imposing their will in the fourth quarter. And as the ground game got better, so did J.J. McCarthy. As Minnesota's run game got better, so did their protection. J.J. McCarthy did not have a lot of time to throw for most of the game. The pressure was getting to him, even without a ton of blitzing. They blitzed, they wouldn't, they were just getting home. In the fourth quarter, things changed. They started to run, and they were able to back the defenders off. The line started to hold up. J.J. McCarthy was able to stand in there and deliver. He throws with really great anticipation. And to me, my dumb brain, that's the number one hallmark of what makes an NFL quarterback. Are you throwing with anticipation and putting the ball where it needs to be? If a guy's breaking on his route, are you waiting until you see him come open? Or are you putting the ball in the spot it's supposed to be because you trust your guy to get there and you see that it should happen? That's what separates good NFL quarterbacks from subpar NFL quarterbacks. J.J. McCarthy was doing that late in the game, in the fourth quarter. He's a fighter, man, to stay in it, to just grit through that adversity in a tough situation, a division game, week 1, on the road. The tight touchdown throw to Jefferson, wonderful throw, puts it right where it needs to be. Then he has another one to Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones has to wait on a little bit, but that's okay. He puts it where he needs to put it for the touchdown. Key to that one, he gets protection. The pocket there is beautiful, and he's able to unleash that ball, get it to his running back for a touchdown. The last one, a fake handoff. He keeps it and goes to the right in the end zone for the touchdown. Minnesota's got all the momentum, and the team loves him. 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter of his NFL debut. First quarterback to ever do that. I heard Scott Van Pelt say that. Thought that was really awesome. A ton of credit to this Vikings team. A ton of credit to Kevin O'Connell because running opened up the offense. They started to get protection. They let JJ settle into the football game. And once JJ settled in and had some time to throw, he was delivering exactly the kind of throws he needed to. I was impressed. What we saw in the fourth quarter was the J.J. McCarthy I expected to see with Kevin O'Connell. Can they keep it up? Will that offensive line be an issue? Can they consistently run the football? Are they going to stick with it? Jordan Mason really helped get things going in the fourth quarter. We'll see if they're able to keep doing that all season. I think that's crucial. You have to have a run game. You have to have protection. McCarthy is mobile for sure. He can move around. He's not a statue, but he is still a guy that needs protection, needs time to throw. If you give him a clean pocket, I think he'll find you an open man for a touchdown because he's just, I think he's got it, man. I think he's a good quarterback. Obviously, week 1, early to tell, but that's as impressive of a debut, considering the way things were going, as you can have. Let's look at the other side. I want to talk about Caleb Williams. There was a ton of hype coming into this game, a lot of curiosity surrounding Chicago. What will Caleb Williams look like with Ben Johnson, the offensive guru that has unlocked Jared Goff and had Detroit back from the depths of hell as Super Bowl contenders, innovative offense? What can he do with Caleb Williams? Caleb looked really bad last year with Matt Eberflus, who wouldn't look bad with Matt Eberflus, to be fair. And for a lot of the game, it looked good. It was good play calling. You heard Ben Johnson say it's all about completions. Get the ball out, get the ball completed. Caleb was good early. He had kind of the reverse game of JJ, where JJ was awful early in the game, most of the game, and then turned it around and got great. Caleb seemed on it the first drive. Early in the game, seemed like he was on the money, making plays. And as the game kept progressing, it just got away from him. And he wasn't making the throws he needed to make. And this leads us to my big issue with Caleb Williams. I'm not the hot take guy, I really promise you. So I'm going to try to just deliver this to you honestly. That's what I'll always do, is tell you what I honestly think. Well, I'll be wrong a lot, but here's where I stand. My big concern with Caleb Williams is what it always has been. I don't think that he throws with the anticipation you want your top quarterback to throw with. A lot of that is because his athleticism has been able to bail him out so much throughout his career. In college, if he got in a tight spot, he could always run around, make a play. He likes to do that more. He's more of that backyard football style. But you can't really make that work in the NFL like you can in college, as he's learned. I don't think he's comfortable throwing into tight windows. We saw tonight, he had, I think, Roma Dunze, and he just wouldn't cut it loose. They showed the shot of Ben Johnson, on the sideline, shaking his head, frustrated because he dials it up, he has it there, and Caleb just doesn't trust it. I don't know why. I don't know if it's he doesn't see it or he just doesn't trust his arm. I'll have to really, I can't wait to go back and look at the tape and see. From just watching the broadcast version, I think he sees it. I think he knows where it's supposed to go. I think he looks at it, but he doubts himself. He doesn't just pull the trigger and trust that he can fit it in there and make a tough throw, because they are tough throws. But that's what you have to do in the NFL. You're not throwing the guys college open. You can't wait till they get open and let it go. You have to anticipate and put the ball where they're going to be. And I just don't think he does that enough. Everyone is wowed by his athleticism, and he is a great athlete. And early in the game, people were probably doing that and being like, oh, look at how athletic he is. Look at him making all these plays. But a lot of that athleticism arises because he passes up so many throws. It sounds like I'm coming down really hard on him, and maybe I am, but this isn't a problem particular to tonight. This is something that I've just kind of had on the radar with him always. The hope is when you get a guy like Ben Johnson in there, he can coach him out of that, because it seems like Caleb has all the traits necessary, but he does have some big misses. That miss to Zacchaeus for the touchdown, that one's really bad, man. There's no one around him. Just deliver the ball to him. It doesn't have to be a perfect throw. Just get your receiver the ball. There's a couple of those. So on top of not trusting himself to let it go when he needs to and trust his receiver and trust his arm to put it there, he also sails it from time to time and starts to run out of the pocket. If it's not there, it starts to spiral for him. He also threw a hospital ball to DJ Moore that's just unacceptable. That one turned my stomach. You can't cut that loose. I know you're desperate, but that was rough to watch. I hope DJ Moore is okay. I haven't heard anything as of yet. I jumped on to record this right away. Credit to Caleb, because he did come back, go downfield, and score right away. So I'll give him that. I'm not writing the guy off or anything. I'm just saying I am worried about him not throwing with the anticipation, trusting himself, trusting the offense, playing within it, and letting it go when he has to. Because if he's not going to do that, I don't think he's going to succeed, not just in Ben Johnson's offense, but in anybody's offense. So if anybody can fix it, I think it'll be Ben Johnson. They looked good for most of this game, especially the defense. The defense looked fantastic for 3 quarters. And as they stopped getting pressure and stopping the run, the game turned around. And J.J. McCarthy and Kevin O'Connell stole one from the Chicago Bears. It was a great Monday night game. I can't wait to just see how these two players, their career plays out. Let's watch them throughout the season. Just keep an eye on it. Is Caleb trusting the read, trusting his arm, cutting it loose as the season progresses? Does he get more comfortable standing and being a pocket quarterback? We'll see. And J.J. McCarthy, if he can look like that, man, if they can run the football, and that's the thing, J.J. McCarthy is going to have his limitations. So you have to put things around him. Things have to go right. But the fact that he was able to lead them back, dig them out of the fire, pull them from the earth, and get this win, that's going to do so much, not just for him, but for that entire football team. They're going to go to practice with a newfound belief in him, a swagger, because it's one thing. I don't know how they felt about him in practice and training camp, whatever. Even if they felt great about him, that's one thing. But going to Chicago, a division rival, on the road, week 1, first start, your back's against the wall, everything's going wrong, and you come back and take the win from them like that, that's as good of a win as you can have in the NFL. Props to the Minnesota Vikings. I'm excited to see where both of these teams go the rest of the season. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I'll see you every step of the way. Have a good week. Goodbye.